Welcome to Verified RX, your prescription for success. Brought to you by the Vizient Center for Pharmacy Practice Excellence.
Welcome to Verified RX. My name is Jackie Stokes, Program Services Manager for Vizient, and I'm your host for today. Pharmacy technicians and buyers are the backbone of the pharmacy, but they are often overlooked and undervalued. We at Vizient decided to create a Pharmacy Technician Committee about 5 years ago to promote the pharmacy buyer and the technician through education, networking, and career growth opportunities. Today, we're going to discuss how pharmacy technicians and buyers can maximize their GPO to enhance the success of the hospital they work for, as well as their own professional growth. Today, we have Theresa Brown and Michelle Crump, two of our favorite members, to share their insights. Theresa, can you please give us a quick introduction of what you do?
I am a national pharmacy purchasing specialist with experience as a local inventory control specialist. And I also have experience with getting a local home infusion office off the ground. I've also been a pharmacy technician instructor at the community college and a couple of adult education facilities.
Thank you. Michelle, can you hop in and tell us a little bit about you?
I am a nationally certified pharmacy technician since 2016, and I work at an independent county critical access hospital, but it's a very small community hospital.
Perfect. Thank you. Theresa and Michelle are two amazing members of our committee, so they are on here as our experts. What are some of the biggest benefits that Vizient provides to you in your individual roles as pharmacy buyers?
This is Theresa. My biggest benefit is my pharmacy executive, David, as well as the sourcing team that gives me opportunities with reporting, and it shows how I can better inventory control my 63 facilities that I oversee right now. VSAP, which is now called Pharmacy Analytics, is another great opportunity for me as a buyer to see my spend and where I could possibly increase or decrease our spend opportunities.
I'm hearing the relationships with our internal Vizient staff who help you, as well as the analytics that Vizient can provide. What does that entail that you use the most as a buyer?
For me, it's doing the data mining with the reports that are available to me through Pharmacy Analytics. I can see where my spend has gone up, gone down. I can also marry that with my returns to see opportunities to possibly share product and to make sure that I don't expire and waste too much product.
Thanks so much. What about you, Michelle? Do you have anything that you enjoy?
Pharmacy analytics is an extremely large help as far as trying to mitigate waste in our pharmacy. Another thing that I have personally found excellent is having this collaboration of other pharmacy buyers. Their expertise, especially when I was a new buyer, I had no idea. I came off from accounting. So I had no pharmacy experience before I had taken on the pharmacy buyer role. And was I surprised what a diverse role it is. The collaboration amongst other buyers, and Theresa has been so essential in extracting knowledge and understanding how to functionally navigate through not only just the Vizient portal, but to try to reach out to your Vizient rep. I have a lot more conversation with our local GPO that I extract from, not as much on the national level. So it's just been a wonderful collaboration to be able to get more knowledge and understanding of the functionality of the role of a pharmacy buyer and just having that support.
When Jackie formed the Pharmacy Technician Committee, that was very exciting for me because I got to work with other experts within the field throughout the country that offer a great deal of knowledge and things that I've been in the business for over 35 years, and I learn something every time we get on those calls.
There are so many opportunities that Vizient gives to take advantage of. It's hard to know which ones benefit you the most. You and I have spoken before about NovaPlus, NES, some of those particular benefits.
I could go on and on about every one of those. The first thing I wanted to mention was the bi-monthly forum calls that offer us opportunity to learn about some of the regulatory aspects of our position. This past week, we had a call about brands and things that I didn't know, having been in this for a long time. They offered a lot of knowledge to help me expand what I already know. Between the forum calls and the hot info every week, I feel that I can stay on top of inventory control. I can stay on top of our spend. And I don't know about you, Michelle, but calls that we have with the technician committee just absolutely broaden me as a pharmacy tech.
I feel the same way, Theresa. They've been extremely important. You have no idea what a wonderful resource it is to know when you come in green and you're like, what is a pharmacy buyer? I've just been putting these medications up in Omnicells. I have no idea what else to do. Being able to extract that information from a reliable resource is so helpful, especially when you're in infancy stage of your position as a buyer. I can't tell you how important they are in our roles. I was going to take a little bit of time to describe the NovaPlus program, where as it comes into play from a hospital, it's a little bit different than a PPO. A critical access hospital is what a CAW hospital is. We have different type of regulations that we have to adhere by. And in 2017, our hospital elected to do that. And I was part of that committee to bring it on board. And it's been a wonderful selection of payment prospects for our hospital to be able to extract some more value from pharmacy. The NovaPlus program is where Vizient aligns with a manufacturer, and they have an M label, which is the manufacturer label, and a Y label, which is the NovaPlus label. In normal hospital settings, the NovaPlus is where you select a product from this particular manufacturer and you get great value out of it once every quarter. You get a rebate and it's wonderful. And I can't say anything negative about it because it's great. But what is even more wonderful is that not only rebates every quarter, but also we get an added value because the M label, where I had spoken that it's the manufacturer label, we have the ability as a critical access hospital to extract savings from our outpatient settings in our hospital, like an infusion clinic and critical decision unit or emergency room, things of that nature, to where we can accrue, let's say we have a box of 10 count of, let's say, Rocephin. So we have 10 patients that come in a week's time. Those 10 vials will get used and they'll go to this software called a 340B optimizer software. And those outpatient visits are extracted from software and populated over to the software and says, okay, so you guys have all purchased 10 separate settings of outpatient services, and we're going to allow you to have this one box for a discounted price from 340B program. So we put together our order just like normal through our wholesaler portal, then populate it over to this split bill software. It'll say you can have this many boxes of this product because you've used these, and you can have this discounted price. And sometimes it can be a significant savings. Sometimes the regular manufacturer price is a good savings, but it just depends on the contract that's aligned with Vizient and the manufacturer. How that works is that those accruals will come across to our wholesaler, and we will save after those services have been rendered and we get those accruals have come across. And we've been doing that since 2017, and it's been a wonderful benefit for us.
Talking about NovaPlus, pricing is typically the best price in the market. What if you find out that our price is not the best price?
As my role as pharmacy buyer, I do have those instances. What I do is I reach out to my colleague or the person that is my resource now and say, hey, I have found this product, this NDC number. It is like $10 more a box or a vial, whatever it is. And they will check on it. And a lot of times that feedback will help provide them to understand what type of contracts they need to be negotiating. Sometimes it might be just like a couple of dollars and you'll get that rebate within that quarterly rebate that they give you. So sometimes it's not necessary because it is extremely important to make sure you stay aligned with your Vizient professional so they can help you to mitigate those changes and increase in pricing.
My PE has been wonderful about the price challenges that I have sent through. In my 5+ years as the national buyer, I must have sent him at least 3 or 4 dozen. Vizient evaluates the price challenge, looks at the cost delta, and many times we come back and the next week it's lowered in hot info. That relationship that I have with my PE and Vizient in general makes me feel like they look at me as being important. And that is very rewarding in the job that I'm in.
You are important. We mentioned a little bit about analytics, a little bit about pricing and supply assurance type tools. We do have NES, which is NovaPlus Enhanced Supply. I'm not sure if either of you all participate in that.
Unfortunately, we do not, but we are looking at the opportunity to go with the enhanced supply. It does require a little bit more of a commitment, 90% versus 80% compliance, but my hospitals have been good about being over the 90% since I came on board. The knowledge that Vizient has given me that I can pass down to my buyers, they get a better understanding of the value that Vizient offers. Enhanced supply is definitely something we're looking into. It also gives us an opportunity during times of shortages. Vizient is segregating product so that if it's not available at the wholesaler, it possibly could be available under the NES and the NES enhanced supply. And that is a huge benefit, especially now that our back orders are 200 plus, and it's very difficult to take care of patients throughout the country that have different needs coast to coast. If you can't get product, it doesn't bode well for patient outcome.
Correct. Making a segue from supply assurance, we do have mitigation strategies and things of that sort on our Vizient website where we have education and things like that. And I know both of you are big proponents and use the website and use the CE programs and things like that.
Let's get to it because it was so helpful. The mitigation strategy, whenever the hurricane hit North Carolina, was so helpful. Because not only did we collectively collaborate with you guys, but you guys reached out to Baxter and said, hey, listen, we've got to figure something out here. And that mitigation strategy was so imperative at that time because as a small hospital, we didn't have the volume that most large hospitals do. So we were at a critical low of wondering what is our next step. Without that mitigation strategy and the information that you guys provided through Vizient, I don't know what we would have done as far as taking care of our patients with critical fluid shortages.
The whole mitigation strategy thing just rolls all up into the shortage team that Vizient has. And anytime that there is a shortage, I believe they send a team out and assess the situation. From a person that came on board to this national position on day one of COVID, I really understand the need to have somebody that I can rely on to go and find product and how we can acquire product and how we can make substitutions and what is clinically appropriate. And I can present that to our clinical team and say, I can't get this, but this is available. Go on the Vizient site and you can see what they recommend.
That is true. And what about the continuing education programs? Have you found any of those to be helpful, or just knowing that you can use Vizient as a way to keep your technician license and not having to worry about finding CE programs?
I can keep up with my CEs. The CEs that you have available are informative as opposed to going on a website and say, okay, I'm going to read about this and this is the way it is. Your webinars that offer CEs are very interactive and go deeper into the subject that I can extract a lot more information and a lot more knowledge to help me better myself as a technician.
So glad to hear that. We are gearing up for next year for our continuing education programs, and topics are always in need. So keep the ideas coming if you all ever have any. I know that we talked a couple weeks ago about networking and networks, the aggregation groups.
The pharmacy aggregation groups are another great benefit that Vizient offers because cost savings is a plus, but I can network with other systems I can bounce information off of and take back to my own network.
Well, it's also nice because you're inside a pharmacy aggregation group that's within your region. If you have a question or if you're having a challenge procuring product or they're having challenge procuring product, I'll give you one example that we had happen recently within the last couple of months. We have a product called REC that we procure from a 503B facility. They compound it for us. And I had a couple syringes left that I didn't want to waste or expire. And I reached out to one of the regional hospitals here locally, and it happened to be one of our actual surgeons that works out of our office. And well, we're one of the remote locations. So he took it back to their office and we're able to use those 2 syringes instead of us having to waste product. That is a wonderful collaboration. Anytime you can save money and procure product between systems, it's so helpful. It's so nice to have that support behind you as well, and getting to know people from other smaller communities or even large communities and just collaborate and find out what their challenges are, because more times than not, they have the same challenges that you're facing as far as shortages and things of that nature.
Speaking of that, we just had our PAG meeting on Tuesday, and we have a roundtable at the beginning. Somebody brings up DSCSA. I thought that I was the only one having these issues with the GLNs and where do I go from here? And we're 2 weeks out and I can't get serialization going. Just being able to, first of all, know that I am not the only one and that it's misery loves company type of thing. We were able to get some good information from people that are not having the problem. And I was able to bring back to my network some very beneficial information. The pharmacy aggregation group, the technician committee meetings, I just can't say enough about Vizient getting everybody together and not siloing. Everybody is the same. We're all buyers. We're all in the same boat.
Thank y'all so much for talking to us today. Our goal in the technician committee that y'all are on is to lift up technician, because you all do so much for the facilities and just really need lots of support, lots of tools.
Jackie, another thing that's helped us in our pharmacy, we were challenged with what type of levels to help our pharmacy technicians feel valued. I know that's a national thing that most pharmacies have that as a challenge. In collaboration of our pharmacy director, we have a 4 or 5 level skill set to where pharmacy technicians can actually not only gain more knowledge, but also a little bit of a raise to collaborate with that. Making that a priority was so helpful and instrumental in allowing our pharmacy director to understand the importance that is to feel valued as a pharmacy technician and to feel like we're appreciated.
Well, you are truly appreciated, and you're appreciated today for joining us.
Thank you very much. It's an honor and a privilege to be associated with Vizient because I get so much out of that relationship. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jackie. This has been wonderful. And thank you, Theresa, for your collaboration over the years. I don't know that I would have been able to come on board and function at all without you guys. You've been a great resource. Thanks so much.
Subscribe today. Like us. Send us your comments. We'd love to hear from you. Verified RX is a prescription for success and is brought to you by the Vizient Center for Pharmacy Practice Excellence. Thanks for listening.